Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Is it working? See some people in the chat. Hello. I don't want to start saying anything important. Okay, you guys can hear me. That's good. That's good. Welcome. Come on in. Hello to Celestial Given. Hello to Donna. Sama's here too. See, there's a couple more people, but they haven't chatted. But if you want me to say hi, feel free to drop a chat. Okay. First stream in, I don't even know how long, at least 2 years, probably. Wow. I've kind of forgotten how to do this. Not that I ever really knew how to do it in the first place, but Donna asked, is this live stream going to be saved? Yes, technically. I might keep it live for a little bit, and then all of my live streams are on a playlist that's just Dragon Saphir live streams. It should be public on my channel, but I do unlist most of my live streams, partly out of a bit of a embarrassment, but also just because I don't want them clogging up my video feed as much, but they are technically watchable again, even after the stream ends. But I'm going to keep this one live for a while because I know it's the holiday. Us in America, especially those who are still with family, probably doing some celebrating. I'm not doing much. It's a bit rainy out today, and I'm not really a fireworks person anyways, so I'm here and you guys are here, so that's great. Okay, well, so the purpose of this stream is to kind of go over, some questions that were left in the comments of my most recent community post, and also to kind of talk about the future of the channel. Donna, what do you mean I'm not able to join? What are you trying to join? You're here in the stream. I'm not sure what that means. I'll keep an eye on the chat though. I can try and help if you give a few more details. But yes, like I was saying, I just kind of want to talk through some of my thoughts and ideas about the channel and where I see it going, because I think, after I came back, after like 2 years of not posting, I think that a lot of people are thinking, oh, we're here to do Sanderside's Podfic, like for continuing to do that. But I see a slightly different vision for the channel, and I think it's going to be better for me when it comes to just my own enjoyment of making videos, and that will lead into getting more videos more frequently, hopefully, because I'll actually be enjoying what I'm doing and enjoying the variety. But I do have a couple questions that I had copy-pasted, written down. So for the purposes of the stream, I just want to use these kind of as a jumping off point. And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and I will do my best to give a good answer. So, like I said, these came from my community post. Crafty Chicken 12 said, do you have a specific process for choosing which fics to read, or do you just read your favorite ones? And what is your specific method if you have one? I don't have necessarily like a written method or anything like that. It's more vibes based more than anything. Kind of the things that I look for in a fic are whether the characters are in characters, maybe the wrong way to describe it, because I think that there are a lot of different ways that characters can be in character, but I look for interesting and complex portrayals of characters, I think, more than anything. I look for, that sense of complexity that you get from the series itself. The sides are not just one thing. They're not just deceit or creativity or morality. They're a lot of different things. And I tend to gear more towards fics, especially just in general, but especially for the channel, that have kind of that nuance to them. And again, I don't have any written thing that tells me that. It's more of a vibe process. I also only tend to read fics that are rated first of all, they're not rated for any kind of explicit like smut or anything like that, just out of a personal comfort. I also don't tend to read anything that is in a first person narrative. I tend to gear more towards third person writing. Again, more just a personal preference than anything else in terms of the fics I tend to even read all the way through. Hello, Berry Clouds. Welcome. And probably the biggest thing is I'm looking for things that I think would be fun to voice out loud, which is really where the idea of characters being in character comes in. If I can read a fic and I can hear the characters talking in my head, that usually means, for me, it's a pretty big contender for a fic that I want to read out on the channel, because I already have an idea of, how I would say certain lines or what I would want to do for certain scenes, that kind of thing. So there's not really any one thing I can point to say, yep, this will definitely, get your fic read. I think everyone has their own, unique idea of what they want to do. And what they want to read, but that's kind of my general process. And then I had another couple questions from Flamin' Fox. So we'll kind of work through those one at a time. First one, do you have to get permission from the authors before reading their work? Yes. Hello. Hi, Anais. Welcome. There's no law, I don't think, stating that I do, but I do always get permission from authors to read their work. I feel like I would end up being blacklisted from certain people if I didn't, and all of a sudden I was just, taking their work and making it my own. I always get a little iffy about, this is not so much about Podfic channels, but more about those channels that do like readings of like stories on Reddit and stuff. It's like, did you get permission to read that out? Like, that just seems a little iffy, especially when it's like a real life story of someone's personal life. Like, you're just kind of taking their stuff. So yes, I always get permission for what I'm going to read. And I've never had anyone say no. I've definitely had a couple people just not respond, which I don't think is anything towards me. I think oftentimes I will find fics from authors who maybe aren't posting in the fandom anymore, or posted the fic on a side blog that they no longer check. So I've been ghosted a couple times, but I've never been told explicitly, like, no, I don't want you to read my fic. So it's kind of a formality, but it is something that I always make sure to do. Are you able to share anything about your upcoming projects? Are they to do with the channel or things outside of YouTube? The main project that I am currently working on, which I believe I'm kind of mentioned in the update video, but we are in full force, in full swing with it, is the Syzygy Podfic project. This is something that I've been really excited to work on, and we have actually a couple of the voice actors in the chat. Sama, I'm not sure if she's still here, but she was here. Legacy's here, and Anais is here. We've got a couple of our voice actors who will be playing the characters, because this is not just a podfic that I will be reading, but this is a podfic that is essentially going to be turned into a full-on audio drama. With different voice actors for each of the main characters and full-on soundscaping and sound effects for the different scenes. It's really, really exciting, and we've been doing a lot of recording sessions. I actually have one later on today going on, which I am super excited to get going with. But that one is definitely a bit of a slow burn. We started that a couple months ago, started recording after casting, but my expectation would be that if I could get things done by the end of the year and start posting, my goal is to get the first episode posted by the end of the year. We will see if that comes to fruition. That is a very, very loose goal at this point, but that is my goal. And if, yeah, hi Erica, hi Sleeping Cat. Yeah, it's really, really exciting. And actually, if you guys are on Tumblr, you absolutely should be following the Syzygy Podfic project blog, which I will get a link to really quick. And pop it in the chat, because while we have already casted and been working on things for the main 11 characters in the cast, everyone has already been cast for that. But if you are someone who might be interested in doing some very, very minor voice acting roles, something that isn't very low pressure, very low time commitment, sometime in the future, probably within the next couple months, I will be posting a new audition form for extras for the project. So you can get your voice on the Dragon Saphira channel if you would like to. Most of the parts, like I said, less than an hour's worth of commitment. All you really need is a decent microphone in order to be a part of things. But yeah, I would go over and follow that blog for sure. I'll post it a couple times in the chat throughout the stream. Go over and follow that. And I will definitely also, whenever audition forms go live again, I will make sure to post it on the YouTube community page as well. So if you guys are subscribed, you'll see it, or at least hopefully you will, because that is going to be a really exciting project, and there are a lot of roles. So it's pretty much, we're going to cast as many people as we get to audition. So if you're thinking, oh, you know, I don't think I'm good enough to, no, this is perfect, a perfect thing. It's very low pressure, very low commitment, and you can get your foot in the door and see if you like voice acting. Take a sip of water. Alrighty. But yeah, that is the main project I've been working on, and probably the only thing that I can really say is like definitively in the works. But I'm very, very excited to be able to share that with you. That being said, I do kind of want to move into this next question talking about future plans for the channel, whether I'm going to continue reading Sanderside's fics or going into different communities or whatever I'm going to do. Currently, I would say that I do not have any current plans to read any more fic on the channel aside from the Syzygy project. The reason for that is that I am not as much into Sandersides as I currently, or as I was, a couple years ago. it's kind of more of a dormant fandom right now. That's not to say it won't ever come back. I don't know for sure, because it could come back full force, maybe when the finale posts, the season finale, but current state, I have no explicit plans for any other fics that I want to read on the channel, and I'm not really looking for, fic recommendations either. I mean, if you want to send them to me just for me to read and you think that they're good, that's fine. Pop into my Discord and you can share fic recommendations. But when it comes to things on the channel, I think I mentioned this in my update post, is that I really want to expand what I'm doing on the channel. I think part of the reason why I took a break, partly because I was just struggling to adult, but there was also a big part of me, I think, that was starting to feel just a little boxed in. I love Sandersides. It's always going to be, a part of my fandom history, but I don't want to just be known as the Sandersides Podfic channel, right? Not only because I'm not the only person who does syzygy, sorry, Legacy said syzygy in the chat and I read it. Not just because, I'm not the only channel who does it. Raven and Kiera both post Sandersides Podfic far more frequently and with far more variety than I currently do. Side note, go check out both of them if you have not. They are linked on my channel page as other channels you should check out, because if you're looking for more Sandersides Podfic and you haven't checked out their repertoires yet, absolutely go over to their channels. But, so I want to move out of the Sandersides Podfic box and expand a little bit more. Like I said, it doesn't mean I won't ever come back to it. It doesn't mean you'll never see anything Sandersides related on this channel again. We'll go down from here in a second, and I do have a couple of Sandersides related ideas, but they're not explicitly Podfic related. So, with that being said, what do I plan on doing on the channel if it's not Sandersides Podfic, right? Well, this is kind of where I would like to transition into a more interactive part of the stream. So get your fingers ready to type in that chat, because I would like to go into my future plans brainstorming. So I have a lot of ideas, right? And a lot of different directions I could go in. And I really want this channel to kind of become not just fandom related, but writing related, or, TV and movie related, crafting related. Basically, I want you to be able to come to my channel and see, oh, okay, she's doing something different today, and want to click on it because that's just what my channel is, right? You'll always be getting something different and some variety, and we're moving on from that. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys can read, but I'll kind of go through my general ideas and expand a little bit more. One of the major things I would really love to be able to do is share my more crafty side. I've always been super artistic person and very much someone who likes to work on things with my hands. So during the pandemic, I got really, really into diamond painting, which if you don't know, it's kind of like paint by numbers, but instead of paint, it's a canvas with like sticky glue on it, and you put these little like plastic diamonds on them, and it becomes a picture, kind of like pixel arty. And it has this like really, really cool like shimmery effect as you move it around, because the diamonds are cut in such a way that they reflect the light. And I've made a bunch of them, but one of the results of that is that I have a lot of the leftover diamonds for it. And one of the things I really would like to be able to do is take my leftover diamonds and make new designs using those without having to get any new materials. So things like, making my own designs or taking things that exist and creating them as diamond paintings. I actually have already designed the Sandersides character logos, like Roman's shield and Patton's little brain guy. I've gone through and made those as pixel art, and I would love to be able to kind of make a video about that, but I haven't been sure as how I should present that. I don't know if you guys would prefer it just more as like a time-lapsey type photo, seeing the final product, or maybe it would be something where I would have the video going in the background where I have a voiceover talking about some other topic. It could be anything. It could be my feelings about whatever media I'm doing. It wouldn't just be Sandersides. I could do video game sprites like from Stardew or Minecraft or pretty much anything. I mean, you think about pixel art and there's infinite possibilities, right? But if you guys have any ideas as to what you would most enjoy with like a voiceover or music, let me know, because that has really kind of been a limiting factor in me kind of being too scared to try doing that, because I'm not sure how I want to finish it. I also am really big into sewing. I've been sewing ever since I was in middle school. I've made plenty of my own cosplays, like fully from scratch. And I would love to be able to share that part as well, making cosplays or, doing some of those like thrift flips where you buy something like a bed sheet or you buy like a shirt from the thrift store and you end up making it into something else. Or little projects that you can do with small pieces of fabric that you may have from other projects you've already made. Little things like that. I'm pretty big into, reduce, reuse, recycle, very much environmentally conscious about especially sewing. So it is very much my motto to use as much as you have and use what you have. And I would love to be able to kind of share that message also with you guys and show you how to do it, right? Because I think sewing is a skill that is unfortunately being a little lost. And it's really, really fun and really important to be able to at least know the basics. So I'll get off my soapbox on that one. Or another idea I had is learning new crafts and kind of sharing my journey and learning something new, something like crochet. I've never been all that good at yarn crafts. I learned how to knit when I was a kid, but I don't even think I remember how to do the basic stitch anymore. Or doing something like bookbinding or stained glass, one of those crafts that's very much, you can dig yourself into a rabbit hole and do all sorts of cool things with it. There's a bunch of different things that I would love to learn, and I think making a video about it could be really, really fun. So that's kind of on the craft side of things. In terms of more writing based, specifically my writing and my feelings about writing, I had the idea of possibly making like a tier list of my fics. Selfish Protector, Fluffuary fics, the Camp Half-Blood series, and the I Am Creativity fic. And I would not be ranking them based on, how good they are, because that's extremely subjective. And also I don't want to alienate anyone who I'm like, oh, I don't like this day of Fluffuary. And someone's like, well, that's my favorite. No, I'm not judging you. I would not judge you based on what you like or not. What I would be ranking them on is how what the idea I originally had was for the fic to write it, and how well I think I did in portraying that idea. How well did I do taking the idea from my head and putting it on paper or digital paper so you guys could see it. Because some of them I think I did actually really well. I think I really portrayed the ideas that I had, and some of them I think maybe I could have gone a little more in depth or gone a different direction, because the fic that's actually on paper doesn't really reflect what I had in my head, which is unfortunate, because I think that the stuff I had in my head is quite fun, and it's sad that it doesn't really convey super well. I actually started a script for that one. That one is probably, Sama, premise versus execution. I like that. I actually, that one probably would be possibly one of the sooner ones to post if you guys wanted that, because I actually do partly have a script worked on for that. It's not finished by any means, but I did start working on a script for that. And then what I think could be really fun is talking about some Sandersides AUs that I never got to finish, or never even really started writing in the first place. The Camp Half-Blood series is something that I had a lot more ideas for. I would probably have to go back through my notes and kind of read through, because it's been so long, but I had a lot of like original characters as well that I was very excited to introduce that just never really did anything there. Or my Beauty and the Beast AU, which is technically partly posted on my AO3. I never posted it on this channel because it wasn't finished, and I kind of wrote myself into a hole. I have an idea of what I would do if I were to rewrite it, but at this point I probably never will. But I would be happy to talk about it, you know. And possibly maybe this could pair really well with the diamond painting ideas, because I've been struggling to think what I would want to do for voiceover in my diamond painting videos, and I've been struggling to think of what I'd want to do for a visual for these Sandersides AU discussions. So I don't know. Let me get let me know what you guys think about combining those two ideas together. And then the Royal Twins Four Kingdoms AU, that one's the AU that comes from Fluffyary, with the twins being princes and the other sides being like their bodyguards / magic users. I have a lot more for that AU than I was able to convey in those little one-shots. And honestly, those little one-shots don't even represent what my original idea was, because it's just grown so much since then. And then something else that I've seen other people do and I think is really fun is doing some of those like fanfic trope tier lists, like, oh, you know, there was only one bed, or superhero AUs, or, you know, whatever. Going through some of those and kind of talking about my feelings on them, because there are a lot of tropes, and a lot of them that I think are really, really fun. And another thing I would really love to be able to do more is collabs with other YouTubers, collabs with my online friends, collabs with my real life friends. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, and I know that personally, whenever I like to watch a video, it tends to be collabs, or at least videos with multiple people interacting with each other. And I had a really fun time with the one video I did with Raven a couple of years ago, where we ranked the Sandersides episodes. And I think there's a lot more ideas I definitely have that could kind of be put into practice. With the trivia challenges, one of my thoughts is doing a sort of like AO3 challenge video, where it's like, oh, you know, out of these 4 fandoms, which one do you think has the most fics posted in it, or which one has the least fics posted in it? Or, you know, here's a list of tags. What fandom do you think that this fic was posted in? That kind of thing. I always really love trivia videos and watching trivia videos, so I wouldn't be shocked if that is something that kind of starts showing up on this channel. And then I just kind of have some random other ideas that didn't necessarily fit into the other categories. I mean, the biggest one is, you know, playing games on this channel. I don't want to become just a gaming channel because I don't think I'm necessarily the entertainer type who you know, plays through those games and makes a bunch of jokes and stuff. Like, that's not really my thing, but possibly for streams and stuff, it could be really fun to play games, especially like visual novels or RPGs, something that has some more like voice acting potential or just a lot of dialogue with story-based stuff. I know at one point I was recommended Disco Elysium, and I've been seeing stuff about Slay the Princess as well, which I think could be kind of fun. I know nothing about either of those games, but I know that they're very talked up, so could be fun to check them out. And I've also been doing a lot of thought about rewriting certain shows, so I am very much a person who loves world building and loves world building into character backstory. And so there are some shows or movies or things like that that I've watched that I think, while the story, you know, might be really good, I think that the world was underdeveloped or just not treated as as such a unique idea that it actually was. It was treated very boring. And I specifically, this is mostly about the anime Fairy Tail, which I don't know if anyone here has watched, but I could rant for hours about how I think the world building in Fairy Tail could have been done, and my ideas for how it should have been done, or more like how would I have done it. And I think that that would be really, really fun to kind of, if you want to hear me ranting, definitely get me on a tirade about Fairy Tail. I had a thought to create a couple of videos as guides for how to use and how to post fics on AO3. Not necessarily writing advice, because I think that writing advice is very subjective, and I also don't feel like I'm qualified to tell you how to write something. But more like specific advice as to how to use the website, how to you know, use tags to your advantage and make sure you're posting things in a way that will make people want to click on them, or how to use filters in order to find fics that you really like, and avoid the ones that you don't want to see, because we all have our squicks of things that we're just like, that's great, I don't want to see it. So, and I know I've talked to people, sometimes in my Discord server, who just can't seem to get a grip on the website. And I think it's very much a learned skill in looking at a lot of the filters and stuff, and working with a website that has no algorithm the way that, you know, some other sites do that you might be reading on. So, yeah, so I have some basic outlines for those as well, which I would really love to be able to share with people. And, you know, kind of moving more into the real world, I would love to be able to talk about some things that were important to me growing up. There are several books that I remember reading as a kid that I can pinpoint as being a turning point in my social or, development in who I wanted to be growing up or who I was as a person. And it could be fun to do a video of like rereading these books and seeing how they actually hold up, or, whether it's nostalgia or whether the books actually are as good as I remember them to be, because we all know how nostalgia works in the rose-tinted glasses and stuff. Take a quick drink of water. But yeah, so these are kind of the things that I've been thinking of, and this is not like a promise that these will all be happening, and I don't know which ones I'm going to kind of have motivation for first. If one or two of these ideas pops out at you guys, definitely leave it in the chat. I see Legacy was pointing out the guide to AO3 would be really fun. Flamin' Fox liked the tier list of my fix idea, which I think is really fun to be able to look at your ode writing and kind of remember what you were planning and whether it worked or not. But yeah, I'm really open, like I said, to doing a lot of different things on this channel. And I think to talk more about the back end and the analytics part for a second, I don't necessarily care about, subscriber counts and stuff like that, but I think it has been a little bit disheartening, and seeing, as I've been posting when the chips are down, which I know some people really enjoyed it, but seeing that subscriber count constantly, the change in subscribers always being a little bit negative, it's a struggle. And I think a lot of people have followed this channel since I started, and when Sanders Hides was a lot bigger and more at the forefront. And while I'm not really one to just abandon fandoms when they start, being a little bit quieter, I understand that not everyone is like me, and a lot of people will move on to different things. And I'm not trying to disparage anyone for, curating their own experience to what they want. But it does kind of make me feel like even more so now is the time to break out of that box. And just start trying some different things. And if I keep losing subscribers, that's fine, because I think that the people who end up staying and the people who end up coming in later will get to see a channel that I really enjoy watching, and I really enjoy making videos for. So yeah. I do want to say I really appreciate, the people who leave comments. I know Flamin' Fox has been a consistent commenter, especially for the last month or two, and that's been really nice. There are a couple other people. K-Lock, I know, is one. I'm bad at names, but I know as soon as if you're in the chat, I recognize your name, and I really, really appreciate you. Because it has really helped me keep going, even when it was kind of a struggle to finish when the chips are down. Just getting through the time it took to record and edit. I've learned, I think, that the voice acting aspect of it is... I don't hate it by any means, but it's definitely not what I enjoy about making videos. So I think doing more just voiceover work instead of trying to do character voices will be a really fun change. And you guys will get to hear my real voice more often than me doing a bit. Sama said diamond painting would be fun. The trope ranking caught my attention, says Anais. Film and Fox says, think that any kind of craft would pair great with the stories about your writing. Maybe first ideas that didn't make it on the page or other ways you would have rewritten them. Yeah, I like that. There are definitely some, especially some Fluffy fics that got rushed for sure. I was definitely struggling near the end of that particular thing at the time, and if I were to go back and rewrite more, there's definitely some things I would change, and definitely some things I would change just for virtue of not being part of a challenge, right? Like, for example, flying low, flying high, the wing fic one, you know, that was for the lamp prompt. It was for the 4 main sides, right? The light sides. Hate that, but anyways. But if I were to go back and rewrite it, I think it would definitely become more of like a Logan and Deceit, Janice and Remus situation, because those are really the characters I enjoy writing. And when I kind of came back to the idea a little bit later, Janice and Remus's stories really hit me harder than Patton or Roman's did. So we'll see. That's definitely, I think, a really fun idea is doing the crafting videos with also the writing videos, because I definitely have a lot to say about the Royal Twins AU2. I think my only concern would be that if I'm doing diamond paintings for things that aren't Sandersides, it might be silly to do something that has a Sandersides voiceover. Sama said, would love for you to talk more about hating the light sides versus dark sides as labels, because I hate them too. Yeah, I've gone on rants in the Syzygy Discord. People have heard me, and I could go on continued rants. I think there even is part of a rant in the tier list with Raven, if I remember correctly, because I really despise that, and specifically how the fandom has picked it up. I think in the series it's fine and actually really interesting the way that it's done. But yeah, that's definitely a topic that I could talk about. Again, I think if I were to do something like the diamond paintings with something like, I don't know, Stardew Valley or something like that. Oh dear. I think Legacy just got kicked, maybe. I see Nightbot kind of went ham. I don't know why, because that... let me see if I can fix that, because... Legacy, are you still here? Nightbot, like, fully nuked all of your messages, and that's very sad, because they were fine. I don't know why it's so mad. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me fix this, I think. Okay. I've disabled... Yeah. Well, Nightbot said stop spamming caps, but I just turned off that spam protection filter. So don't abuse that, but I might end up turning it on eventually, but I think for now we're fine. I don't know why it went back and deleted all of your messages, though. That's a bit strange. Anyways, going back to that, I could also talk a lot about how Deceit does not only lie, and that's a very silly character decision if he did. again, I do want to move the channel away from just sander sides, but there are plenty of things that I can talk about for a while when it comes to sander sides. So, excited about Flying Ho, Flying High being mentioned. It's fine. Like I said, Nightbot just went ham, and it's a little upsetting that it deleted all of your messages except for just the one that it caught. That's a little silly. But yes, I know you like Flying Ho, Flying High, Flying Low, Flying High, and I love it too. It's very fun. Wingfic is some of my favorites to do. But yeah, I wanted to do this live stream, and like I said, I'll keep it live for a while, because I think it is important that people who may be busy or not able to join a live stream are able to kind of see some of the answers and discussions that I had here, because I've been feeling a little stifled, and I was always going to finish Chips and Riddle Me This too, but Chips was definitely the bigger beast. Going forward for the next couple months or so, I don't have any specific plans for new videos. I do have plans currently to release some of the multi-parter fics as just one big video. So one big video for I Am Creativity, or one big video for a game of Vice, that kind of thing. So nothing new really, other than some intros and outros being cut out. But YouTube really loves the long videos that are posted. And if, some people maybe are new to my channel, haven't watched all of them, those would be the perfect videos to watch, because they'll be everything together at once. But yeah, besides those, I think one of the things I might do first is the diamond painting video, because that one is a little bit faster, I think, to put together. The tier list of my fics is definitely something I want to start working on, but that one's going to be a little bit longer, obviously, because there are, Fluffuary itself is 29 fics. Selfish Protector has, 7? So there's over 30-some fics in that lineup, and I want to go over each one of them and give them the love that they deserve. So that one will definitely be a bit of a longer video whenever it does come out, but I'm excited to start working on that. And yeah, I think I'm excited for where this kind of channel is going to go, and I've been trying to figure out where my place is online and using this channel, and whether or not I even wanted to continue posting for a while. And I'm still not sure. But right now, I want to try. I want to just play around. I want to be, like I said, a channel that can kind of do whatever and still have fun with it. But no matter what happens, I will keep you guys updated as best I can, and make sure that, you know that as long as I keep posting, I'm having fun with it. And I think that that's really just the most important thing. But yeah, we are coming up on the hour, and I do have a couple of other things I need to get ready for the rest of the day. Thank you guys all for popping in. I really appreciate all my chatters. Love you guys, and I hope that you're excited as I am to see some of these expansions on the channel, because I know a lot of you have come here specifically for Sandersides, but I hope you'll stay for me and whatever else comes around. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you all for coming. Thanks, Legacy and Anais and Sama for jumping in from the project. Flamin' Fox and the others who hopped in and out. Barry Clouds was here for a while. And I will see you all next time. Bye.